is overeating. And the reason I've chosen this theme is because it is an extremely problematic area for many people, including myself in the past. And I've recently decided that I really want to focus my business on people who are struggling with overeating or not overeating. So regardless of what your weight is, whether you've got weight to lose or you've got no weight to lose, if you know that you struggle with overeating and you're perhaps worried about regaining weight or putting more weight on, regardless of whether you want to lose it, obviously I'm here to support people who want to lose weight as well. But if your weight issue is not as a result of overeating, then there are probably other services out there that are better suited to you, and I can obviously help to signpost you towards those. But I am really focused in on anyone who is struggling with managing their eating behaviours, okay? Because ultimately that is the thing for many of us that is the main issue that leads to the weight gain or stops us from being able to lose it. So if we can tackle that, then we're in a much better position to be able to do the things that we need to do to be able to lose weight. So that's what this is all about this month. So today I'm going to be talking to you about, I've called it the simple truth about weight gain. Next week I'm going to be going through how do you know if you're overeating, because it's not always obvious. And then the third week I'm going to be talking about practical things that you can do to help you to manage your overeating or stop overeating. And then in the final session, I'll be talking about different ways that I can support you to do that, including my free support. So without further ado, I'm going to go diving straight in now with the topic for today, because I've literally only got 10 minutes and, well, probably got 7 minutes left now. So I'm going to dive in and get started on the simple truth about weight gain. Okay, now, as I said earlier, this is really relating to if you are having issues with managing your eating behaviours. If that's not an issue for you, then this probably isn't going to be that helpful to you. But if this is an issue, then stick around. So the simple truth about weight gain is that we're eating too much. Now, when I say too much, what I mean is we're eating more than our bodies need. Now, obviously, we're all different and our bodies are different shapes and sizes, and we all have different energy needs. So it just simply means that if you are eating more than what your body needs, okay, if you have a bigger body, you need more energy. If you have a smaller body, you need less energy. And this is one of the reasons why it gets really hard to lose weight the closer you get to your goal, because you have to really cut back on the calories or expend lots more in order to be able to get the results that you want. So sorry, I've got some messages coming through on my screen, just distracted me for a moment there. So one of the key things that I'll be talking about next week is the answer to how do you know. Okay, I'm not going to be going on into that today. Today I'm going to be focusing on the reasons why. So we're eating too much, and the reason why we're eating too much is because we are designed to eat when food is available. We are living in a society where food is constantly available to us in quantities far greater than ever before, in energy density far greater than ever before, and that those things that perhaps used to be a special treat, like going out for a meal, having a takeaway, have become regular occurrences for most of us. You know, how many of you struggle with the weekends, for example? And the weekends tend to start on Fridays, sometimes even Thursdays, right through till Monday morning. And if we are going out for meals, having takeaways during that time, then we are going to be more than likely overeating, and I'll explain why in a moment. So food is everywhere, and you know, you just got to walk down your local high street and just see count how many buildings there are and how many of those buildings are actually selling something relating to food, whether it be a pub, a cafe, a supermarket, a corner shop, a takeaway, whatever it might be. There are lots, and they seem to be springing up more and more all the time. And yet we're bombarded with this message that says you've got to lose weight to be healthy, and yet more and more food outlets are opening up all the time. That just, to me, is nonsense. You know, why are the councils and the governments allowing that to happen at the same time as an increasing public health crisis in terms of the costs, both financially and on people's health, relating to being overweight? Sorry, I'm going to get stuck on my soapbox now if I'm not careful. I feel very strongly about this. So then not only is it in terms of how much food is available, it's the types of food that are available. They're all foods that are highly moreish. You know, how many people can stop at one chip, one crisp, one piece of chocolate? They're designed to make us eat them more, and they even say it on the packaging. You know, this is designed for these are moreish. You know, and of course, what kind of message is that sending? We're being bombarded all the time with the marketing around food as well, and we are living in a society where it's harder than ever to not put on weight. 64% of the UK adult population were overweight in 2021. I dread to think what it is now, but it's going to be more. You know, it's going to be more because the problem is getting worse, not better. And, you know, we all, whilst we can't do anything about the society we're living in, we can definitely do a lot about how we respond to it. And that's part of the work that I do and what I help people with. So, and then the other thing that makes it even harder is that we are, as we get older, we need less energy, which means that unless we are actively doing something to counteract the body's natural needs for less energy, even if we didn't eat any more than we did 20 years ago, we're still going to be putting on weight because our bodies don't need as much as what we were doing before. And if our lifestyles have changed as well, so perhaps we're being more sedentary than we used to be, then that makes the problem even worse. So it's being aware of all these things that is absolutely vital starting point, because if we're not aware of what the problem is, how on earth can we manage to solve it for ourselves? So I just want to just finish with just saying that in terms of how much we need to eat to be overeating, is the equivalent of 120 calories a day more than what we need. So let's say your body needs 2,000 calories, which is the average woman's recommended amount to maintain weight. Obviously, no one's average, but I'm just going to use that because that's the recommended, suggested. So that would mean if you needed to eat 2,000 calories a day to maintain your weight, and you were eating 2,120 calories every day, you would put on a stone in a year. Okay. Now, on a daily basis, that's the equivalent to 2 Bonbon biscuits. Okay. That is 840 calories a week. If you are having 2 takeaways or a takeaway and a meal out every weekend, you're going to be consuming a lot more than 840 calories over that weekend, in addition to what you would normally need to maintain your weight. That is how easy it is to put on weight. That is what we're faced with. So what we do about it, that's what I'm going to be helping you with over the course of this month. But I just want to leave you with that thought. That is what we're faced with. Now, I don't want you to be feeling guilty about this. I don't want you to be feeling, oh gosh, that means I can't ever have a takeaway again, or I can't ever eat out again. That's not what this is about. This is just about raising your awareness so that you can make more informed decisions about what you are eating, so that you can stop the weight gain and can start to reflect on what you might need to do in order to reverse the problem. Okay, that's not to say that food is bad. No, food is bad, but it's the quantities that we're eating it in that is the issue. And if we can manage to plan our week so that we are having those things when we want to, but without overdoing it, it's about getting that balance right. Now, what I would say is that having a takeaway or a meal out every single week probably isn't going to be helping, and it's probably going to be very difficult to balance your calories if you are doing that every single week. So can you start looking at maybe reducing the amount of times that you're doing that, perhaps taking it back to, you know, perhaps how it used to be 10, 20 years ago, when those things were less routine and more of a treat, more of a special occasion. You know, perhaps thinking about when you're going out for, you know, somewhat to celebrate something, does it have to revolve around food? Can you do something that is not food related? Because the problem is that food is taking up far too much a role in our lives than is healthy for us. And if we don't change that, then we are always going to be at risk of being overweight. I'm not here sitting here and judging you for it, because I know from my own personal situation, you know, that was me. And yeah, I love a takeaway and I love eating out. but I also know that I can't do it in the way that I used to if I want to be able to manage my weight. I had to change it, and so can you. So that's where I'm going to leave it today, okay? And then next week